Hello viewers, this is PizzaMan1398 back with another MotoGP 2014 career race in Le Mans Race 5. So without further ado, let's get on to qualifying. Coming up to the last two corners now, and I am getting ready to go on the straight. The track is slightly wet, but not as wet as it will be later on, and that's why I only end up doing one qualifying lap, because I know I wouldn't improve because rain starts to fall later on. Anyway, coming up to the first corner, I'd take this flat out in the dry, but in the wet I brake a little bit because I don't want to get too wide into the first chicane up the hill and under the Dunlop Bridge. Going into the fourth or fifth corner, if you count that last little left-handed kink as a corner. Coming up into, I'd call this the fourth corner, but now some people may count as the fifth. Into this long left-hander now. I tend to be a little slow on this as I'm not in rhythm currently at the moment. I haven't been on this for a while, and especially Moto 3, so I'm not used to Moto 3. Back into the double apex right-hander. See, my sector times aren't too bad, but they're not brilliant. See how I'm 20th from a previous session I did, but I messed up the lap, so I restarted the session. Going to my favourite corner now, a left-right chicane. Braked a bit later than I should have, and messed it up a little because I like to get a nice clean run out into this next, the third chicane, a right left-hander this time. I think this is the only right left-hander chicane on the track. I go off this circuit a little bit, but do not get a penalty, which I'm glad I don't. Coming up into the last two corners now, fairly short lap, as this is only a 2.6 mile circuit. Coming to a short sprint to the start finish line, and I finish, wait for it, still going down 21st. Not good qualifying for me. I would have improved my lap time, but it rained and I didn't see a point in trying to improve. Miller first, wins Marquez and Finati. So getting onto the race now, lap 1, in my lonely 21st position near the back. I get a reasonable start, trying to get the slipstream of Io in front of me. I believe it's Io, and next to me Daru and Bastianini. Do not get overtaken or do not overtake someone, so it's an okay start. But as we get into the corner, I overtake Daru, Io and Bastianini, but Bastianini, there we go, and Io get me back. And into the chicane, I overtake everyone up to Oliveira, who I'm at 3 who are from me. And I think that's Guevara trying to overtake me behind me, but I block him off a little bit. So Oliveira and McPhee, one of my teammates, is in front of me. So I get a good start. I bump John McPhee a little bit, and under braking I overtake Oliveira and John McPhee. Into Finati's teammate now, behind Finati's teammate. In previous videos, if you've watched them, I can't pronounce Finati's teammate's name, so I don't. He tries to cut down the inside, but I end up doing that and overtake Antonelli and Danny Kent. I push Danny Kent wide and get overtaken by Finati's teammate and Antonelli. Going down this straight into coming up into my favourite corner, this left-right chicane, and Oliveira's trying to overtake me. I brake fairly late, but not as late as I did in my qualifying lap, and get a better exit than Finati's teammate and overtake him. This is my best sector, the last one, and overtaking Antonelli and my teammate Vasquez into 7th place. Going into the right-left chicane and coming up into the final two corners to begin the next lap. Coming up onto the straight now, Isaac Vinales is in front of me. So starting the second lap, I have Vasquez, Antonelli, and I get the track record for this lap, 1:49.8, and that's the only time you'll see a track record from me during this race. I think off the top of my head. So I've got Vasquez, Antonelli and Finati's teammate right behind me. You could see a few arrows, and Vasquez is only 1/10 behind me. Going up into this right hander, off onto a little bit of a straight. Fortunately, this isn't the best race for excitement because it's raining and I don't really want to risk much. The most overtaking's done the first lap by me. The rest of it's fairly quiet. I have Vasquez coming up, trying to come up onto my inside, but it does not overtake me any further. And I run wide out of the exit of the second right-handed apex. Still got the 2 hours right behind me. Vasquez and Fanati's teammate, they are overtaking each other now as well. Come over to my favourite left right-handed chicane. Brake nicely into the left-hander, accelerate straight into the right-hander, and I am 4/10 now behind Jack Vinales. Brake late into the right-hander, try and accelerate as much as possible and lean on him a bit, and I get past him. So another overtake, and that puts me up into 6th position into the double right-handed last 2 corners. And coming up into the start finish straight, and you see Miller's already taken the track record off me. So into the 3rd lap now. I've still got Vinales right behind me into the first corner, and the left right chicane, that is Fanati up in front of me, but I do not manage to catch him throughout the race. He just pulls away and I pull away from Vinales behind me. Just breaking into this right-hander. I've still got Vinales there, and I kind of shut the door, but he comes back and tries to overtake me again, but I am constantly shutting the door on him. Coming up into this left-hander now, with Vinales still right behind me, and I see a couple more hours, meaning that Vasquez and Fanati's teammate or Antonelli are still there. I'm 2 seconds behind Fanati and only 1/10 in front of Vinales, as he might look round down into my inside, but he does not, luckily for me. He's now in my slipstream. I have a quick look back, and I see he's quite close. I cut him off completely there, and he stops dead in his tracks into my favourite left-right chicane. Accelerate out, and they tend to brake on the right-hand a bit, and that allows me some breathing space. I gain 7/10 from Vinales, and I'm 8/10 up on him, and only 1.1 seconds behind Fanati, I think that said, or 1.3. Coming up into the last couple of corners now, but I only need a miracle to get any higher, because based on the first few sectors it won't get any faster. So skipping on to lap 9 now, and like I said, I need a miracle to gain places. Vinales is fairly far behind me, Fanati is fairly far in front of me. I do have full engine upgrade now, but so this is probably the best position I'm gonna get. Unfortunately, I might have done better if it was dry, but it decided to rain in Le Mans. But I still have a good finish in my books, my highest finish, if it stays like this so far. Hope for a miracle. I perhaps think to myself, maybe if someone in front of me like Fanati or Cornfile or Rins or Marquez or Miller have a technical fault, maybe that would help me quite a lot. And coming up into the double right-hand apex right-hander, you see I'm 2.8 seconds from Vinales, 2.9 behind Fanati. Like I said, I'm thinking of miracles, and there is a rider right in front of me off to the side of the track, and the miracle that I was thinking about has come true, as I believe Miller has pulled off to the side, which promotes me to 5th, and that is definitely my highest place finish if it stays like as it is, which I hope it does. So 2.7 behind Fanati and 3.2 ahead of Vinales. Coming up into the left-hander now, trying to get my left and right hands correct. Since last time in Jerez I got a few of them wrong. Lucky I rewatched this. I'm coming up into the final lap now. Not much has happened since, apart from the 2/10 penalty you see in your top right hand corner of the screen. That is because I cut this corner here on lap 10, I believe it was. Yep, it was lap 10. And as you can see in your bottom left there, Masbu just got disqualified. That is the first time I've ever seen an AI get disqualified. And on lap 10, as I got a penalty, a 0.2 second penalty, he got a ride through, which was the first time I ever saw an AI get a ride through, and he got disqualified, which it doesn't happen. It only happens to you, the player on this game, but apparently not. Sometimes you can. You see, Cornfile is now in 4th. It looks like Fanati is overtaking him, but there is little chance unless I get another miracle again and another technical problem. I have a quick look to see where Vignales is, and you can see Cornfile and Fanati are battling for that last podium position, but from where I am, not much is going to happen. But coming up into the last 4 corners, I'm 4.5 seconds behind Fanati and 3.7 in front of Vignales. So this race is pretty much done dusted. My highest point scoring position in a race. I'm not sure how many races how many points you get for 5th, but a good solid race all in all, good points finish. I'm happy with how I did. I think I could have done better, but I think Fanati ended up clinching the 3rd position, and yeah, he does, only just. With the 2-tap penalty, it doesn't really affect me. Coming up, and it's the first time I've ever beaten my teammate Vasquez, and I move up into 10th in the championship, 10 points behind Oliveira. So the next race, race 6, is in Italy, Mugello, where I might be moving teams. Thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.